And it seems we are live. And just a red rupee in the first chest. Nothing too exciting yet.
So the beginning part of this is always the same. We have to save Zelda from the dungeon, kill the ball and Jane guard, take her back, drag her through the sewers. It's always the same. We already have predictions. Red rupee in first chest equals required pedestal. Everybody is still always looking for that Master Sword requirement. We've only had one so far.
Everyone wants that Master Sword to be required, of course. Getting all the dungeons cleared. And just a heart piece in the first chest.
Still got a lot of people asking and begging for that Master Sword pedestal. And to answer question, the book cannot be at the Master Sword pedestal because the book is required to read what is on the pedestal. So, Mysticum, I know you're in the tournament too. How many races have you done so far?
I've done 3 races so far, so I have 1 match to go. And it could potentially become a 2-2 situation in that group as well, where in the name of DT will take the... Oh, and the mirror shield for Swerb! And of course FoxZerro slide thereafter. So it could be a potential situation where everyone fights for a separate match for the second place in the group, which would be very exciting.
Yeah, no, that's the situation we're looking at for this one. I'm already out of my group. I've accepted this knowledge. But what all that matters in the end is I'm having so much fun doing it, and everybody is having a blast watching this tournament.
Yeah, it has been a lot of viewers and a lot of new players coming in to join the randomizer races that's going on. So it's exciting news for Zelda and exciting news for the randomizer.
My fingers are crossed that they continue to do these little tournaments. Not just like the weekly races that I know they do, but to actually set up more tournaments like this.
Yeah, let's really hope for that.
It looks like Swerb is going with the classic pot and 4 swipes on the guard.
It seems like FoxZerro is doing the same. Could potentially grab another pot and just lose like slightly time to be extra safe in order to not get those extra sword hits. Picking up that mirror shield isn't too bad in the beginning because you don't have a shield at all in the beginning, so it's nice to be able to dodge on projectiles and stuff like that. So a really nice find in the beginning.
I mean, they could always do what I had to do in my last race. Make it all the way to Ganon with the green mail and no shield.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. FoxZerro killing off an extra guard and being rewarded by 4 bombs. That's actually huge, since we are having a bombable wall upcoming, which leads to 3 extra treasure chests.
Which, out of this entire tournament, I think I've only ever seen it pay off maybe 3 or 4 times.
We'll see if Swerb is going to farm some of the enemies to maybe get lucky and get those bombs.
I think it's easier for them to farm in the sewer anyway, because there's more enemies, and there are more concentration of enemies, like the snake hallway that Swerve's getting into now.
Yes, you have a very high chance of getting those bombs actually by killing the large pack of enemies. But it looks like for now, Swerb is not going to farm extra for those bombs. We'll see. He has an additional 2 rooms to be able to farm some bombs. We'll see if he do that.
If he doesn't, he might have a problem later depending on what's in there and if he remembers to come back and check it once he gets submits.
Yeah, we have seen some runs actually where the mirror was in, or other key items were in that room, so it might be easy to forget because you usually might get it while you're here during the escape. But...
yeah, it looks like he's just pushing right on through.
Yeah, he's not going to spend extra time farming those bombs, so we'll see if it pays off or not.
And we're about to see on Fox's side what is actually in these chests. So just some arrows, a lot of money, and a piece of heart. The money might be helpful because they need to farm up 500 for Zora, 100 for the bottle vendor, and 110 for possibly Kiki for Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential things you can use the money on, and let's not forget that FoxZerro still have 3 more bombs, which which you need for Kakariko Village or the Moldar Cave. So Swerb is going to need some bombs and pulling just arrows off of that tree, and he needs rupees in order to buy those bombs if he wants to buy them from Kakariko Village.
And it does not look like Aghanim 1 is required. That doesn't mean, though, that he won't be for them to gain access to the Dark World, but just simply based on that item, as of right now, it doesn't look too good for Aga 1.
No, it basically would have the pyramid item to be a required one, and without having access to the Dark World, so unlikely, but not unheard of. And we see the hookshot for Swerb actually in the forest. A nice find.
That will definitely help their movement some too until they get some boots.
Yes, and the hookshot also opens up a lot of location if you can get the Titan Smith or the Power Gloves.
Got a quick peek at the map. I did see Hera was Crystal 6. That's the only one that I caught.
Swerb going into the Kakariko Thief's Hut, and he doesn't actually have any bombs yet. We'll see if he finds it in this 4th chest, but otherwise he's going to have to go out to the store to buy bombs first.
And it looks like he got the bottle out of and the cane of Samaria. So at least they'll be able to go right and check. And he did pick up a couple bombs, but they'll be able to go right and check the sick kid.
Well, it seems money is not going to be a problem in this run.
Definitely looking that way.
Even Swerb missing out on those 300 rupees has almost enough to get to the flippers.
So we got Fox about to grab the bottle and the cane.
And we get Power Gloves by Swerb, and additional rupees and a heart container.
Well, at least it's good for them that they will not have to do any farming throughout this, unless they need to get potions later on. Swerb getting some very expensive bombs from the bottle vendor. And the chicken hut, not really much of anything, just some more money, because that seems to be all this seed wants to give our people.
It's going to be interesting to see where Swerb is going after this, because he has a lot of options. He can either go to the southern part of the world, where he can visit the dam and the Moldrum cave and do the fake flipper stores, but he can also go into the mountains to pick up a lot of chests there with the hookshot and the power glove. So he has different options, and we'll see if FoxZerro follows his way, or if we're gonna see a split this early on.
It's possible. I know it normally depends on what these guys end up getting as to which way they decide to go first. Normal route seems to be clear Kakariko, go back to Link's house, and go down by the lake. But with the gloves, they might switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, that changes a bit, and that's the fun of randomizers. New routes open up very quickly, and you are having a lot of different options all of a sudden. And
it looks like Swerb is gonna skip over the Cane of Berna.
Yeah, he didn't farm bombs for the bomb over wall, so he's not gonna spend time on that item. And he's actually gonna catch up with the bombable wall in this escape, which actually it seems. And FoxZerro already visiting that seems to be heading for the mountains. So he's not taking the regular tour to the southern part of the world.
They might be thinking that, I mean, either way they go, they're going to be able to get about the same amount of items. So they might clear out Death Mountain, depending on what they get, go up to Hera, or backtrack and go down around the lake.
Yeah, and it also might be that one of them is, or both is thinking that the other place might go south directly, and they could be catching a head start if they get a potentially useful item in the mountains.
Yeah, it's actually looking like Swerb is heading up toward the mountain as well. And the old man just giving Fox some money for his troubles.
Fox gotta be careful here, only one heart left, and those rocks really hurts.
I swear, they're like heat-seeking missiles. No matter how much you try to avoid them, they will find you and they will hit you.
That is true. And the net is on the Spectable Rock. And the boots already in the Spectable Caven, so that's always a nice find to have all in the game.
So both of them coming up to the mountain first is definitely paying off for him. Oh, Swerb taking a death to the cabbages.
Well, lucky for him, he's going to have to start in the cave with the old man, so he's not losing too much time there, but definitely hurts anyway.
And with them having the hook shot, they will have no problem getting over to East Death Mountain and clear out that and see what they get over there. What is it? 7 chests they have access to over there?
7 in the wall of chests, and then additional 1 for the spiral cave. They can also, while going to the spiral cave, they can also check out the floating item on the island. Fox trying to be extra careful around those squirrels.
I don't blame him. They are a giant pain.
Yeah, they can be a huge pain in the ass, actually. And FoxZerro is about to get a wall of chests here. 7 incoming items. And the bow and the lamp. That's 2 amazing finds. So no lampless is required here. And the bow opens up for the Eastern Kingdom. Or the Eastern Palace, I mean.
Oh, we're gonna see if this continues to pay off for him. These 5 up here. So far, so good with the Titan's Mitts and the
And
Moon
the Moon
Pearl.
Pearl, this is an amazing seed so far.
What it's gonna come down to, they're gonna come down to that one item that they just can't find. And it looks like he's lining up for the bomb jump. He should get it no problem. It's a fairly easy one to line up. Oh, I guess I spoke too soon. But now with the Titan's Mitts and the Moon Pearl, that opens up all of... And he died.
Yeah, those squirrels can be quite annoying, and their movement isn't very predictable all the time, so... And he decides to start in Link's Land, so for now he's skipping Spiral Cave and watching what Floating Island has to offer. So he's going probably straight to either Moldrum Cave or the dam at this point.
Yeah, looks like he is heading toward the Moldorm Cave. So he might find some more goodies over there.
So we have a slight version here, and Swerb is going to check the Spiral Cave and the Floating Island, I hope.
Yes, Fox did grab the Moon Pearl. He grabbed the Moon Pearl in the 5 chest room with the Moldorms
Swerb
in it.
is getting trapped along those squirrels. And FoxZerro picking up nothing but rupees from that cave, right?
I did not catch it, but I'm sure chat will happily assist if we miss something. I'm seeing a lot of hammers, so I'm gonna trust them that they caught him grab the hammer.
Oh, the hammer, sorry, I missed that completely. Was watching the Floating Item Island, but nothing but 20 rupees. And Swerb is picking up the Master Sword from that Spiral Cave, so...
And Fox grabbing the flippers from Ice Cave, so... No fake flippers required in this one.
Seems this seed is just giving them everything they want so far. Not sure where Swerb was trying to go. Maybe going to... Yeah, of course, going into the Dark World opens up quite a few locations more. And especially with the hookshot, they have a cave for additional 4 items there, so... He's probably going to head back and get those 6 additional items.
And it looks like Fox is making his way up to Zora, so with the flippers he will be able to get whatever's on the ledge if it is of any significance.
And did he not check the item? Oh yeah, I was going back and see that the Book of Medora is there, actually.
I think he got a little too excited, head right up to Zora, and was like, oh, I forgot to peek.
Yeah, already so many items this early on in the game. You gotta be excited.
But the bad thing is, like, you get so excited about getting so many items, and the Zora just spit up the cape for him. But it makes you start to wonder, when are they going to stop getting items? And they're going to have to hunt for whatever they need for the last dungeon.
That is a good question. We'll see if they have done. And the magic powder for Swerb and some additional bombs.
It's either that or they're gonna have to hunt for a medallion, the ice rod. We don't know what the Dark World crystals are yet.
Yeah, the fire rod can actually be blocky quite sometimes, and we don't know the medallions, as you said. And we're going to find out here on Swerb. Turtle Rock is actually the green pendant dungeon and requires bombos to get into.
Let's see, what was it? Was it Swamp Palace was a pendant?
Turtle Rock was the green pendant.
Got chat helping out a lot, so I appreciate you, chat. You're catching stuff that we're missing. Yeah, I'm seeing 2 is Palace of Darkness. Turtle Rock was green. I did catch that. Crystal 5 was Skull Woods. I did get that.
It seems FoxZerro is going to check the Master Sword pedestal, so that's interesting. Gonna see if we have some requirement or not.
Fingers crossed, chat. It's gonna be the medallion that they need.
Having some troubles going to the book, yeah. And nothing but bomb upgrades, so that's unfortunate.
So Master Sword has been denied again, but they may still need to do Turtle Rock to say deliver the green pendant to get whatever Meyer is.
Yeah, that is still
Whatever
a possibility.
medallion Meyer is.
And the red tunic for Swerb. That's a good find. Not too much health this time, but and we also seen both players actually taking a death penalty, so the red medal is a very good find.
Oh, Fox having some issues with that thief. He just stole all his bombs.
We see both players are now in the same locations approximately, and but Swerb hasn't been checking the Moldam cave, and FoxZerro has also gotten the flippers and visited Sora and picked up the book along the way. So
And Fox looks like he's heading into that C-shaped house, that often missed house. And he's rewarded with some more money.
yes, as Mythical is pointing out in chat, no hammer at this point is really hurts Swerve's routing, because the hammer is an item that can get you fast traveling quite very much. So at this point, Swerve is going to have to spend a bit more time to get to places than Fox is.
My money is on them digging up a piece of heart in this game. Or just 10 more arrows.
Well, I don't think they can complain at this point. The siege so far has been very generous to them, so...
So in reality, the only things they're actually missing right now are a fire rod,
And the mirror.
the mirror, and the flute. That's it. That's all they need right now. And then whatever medallion from Misery Meyer.
And both are going for the hype cave and taking different routes there.
It's just insane to be less than 25 minutes in, and they only need 4 more items. And they are will officially be in go mode, or at least Fox will
Tempered
be.
sword from the generous guy. Not too exciting this time for the Hype Cave.
Well, Tempered Sword can be hype enough.
Especially for FoxZerro, who was not having the Master Sword, so that's quite a nice catch.
As I pointed out in the chat, no more hype left to give. They've already gotten everything.
Yeah, it was very hard for that Hype Cave to live up to its name at that point.
And it looks like they're both making their way over to Eastern Palace. With having the bow, they won't have any problems. Well, at least Fox is gonna get a tunic upgrade. Because it looks like Sarashla just had some arrows and the blue tunic.
Yeah, at this point FoxZerro is in slight lead since he has more items, but Swerb has been exploring parts of the Dark World in the mountains, and at some point I imagine FoxZerro has to go there eventually, so it's not necessarily a clear lead in that regard.
Trying to think, he may hold off until he possibly has the mirror and head right into Tower of Hera and then get all the Dark World side of Death Mountain at that point and save an extra trip up there.
Oh, half magic, that's very helpful.
Oh yeah, I gotta remember there's no half magic mark on this thing.
Yeah, the hammer was in Moldrum Cave by the generous guy. And Swerb hasn't been there to the Moldrum Cave or the Zora's domain yet, so he is going to go there eventually.
And Zora is how FoxZerro got the magic cape.
And the Book of Medora was in the zone as well.
I just finished off playing my own randomizer shortly before this, so I'm already struggling as to where all their items are at. If I remember correctly, there's only 2 junk chests in here. That is correct. Flippers were in the ice cave, a book on Zora Ledge, and nobody has ventured out into the desert yet. So we have no idea what's on that ledge or in that dungeon.
Yeah, that's completely unexplored at this point by both players.
And by the way it's looking, Eastern Palace is not going to pay out with anything.
No, but at this point I already have so much items, so it would be hard to imagine the Siege giving them even more at this point.
I think people are still waiting for that mythical sub 1 hour seed.
Wow, 1 hour. That would be insane.
Yeah, it looked like Fox made good use of having his cape, so he did not take any damage trying to push his way into that button.
Yeah, that's very clever. It's very easy to forget to use the items you get. So use the items you have to your advantage. Many times you hear you don't have the cape, so it's nice to think on your feet and use the arsenal of items you have. I think the most common mistake is when they have hookshot in Tower of Hera and they still do the bomb jump, even though they can just hookshot over, because they're so used to doing the bomb jump when they're there.
It happens in Eastern Palace too with the hook shot, because Fox did take the long way around to get to that one chest.
Yeah, that's
Swerb
true.
hooked himself right across,
Oh, and the
and
fire rod for Swerb.
this is a very generous seed.
Yeah, what can it be? They could potentially be 2 items away from go mode at this point. And we'll see if no, Swerb is not going for the Mollum Cave right now, at least.
Let's see, he may be off to Skull Woods, possibly.
It seems he's heading for the village at least, so we'll see. But that would be logical since he found the fire rod. And it's a fairly quick dungeon to do, so can't blame him for that choice.
And Fox picking up the fire rod and getting his first crystal as well.
We have to remember that Swerb does not have as many options as Fox do at this point, since he's lacking the hammer, which is quite important for some dungeons.
If Fox is making his way up to Death Mountain, he might go in and clear out the Dark World side of it.
Yeah, it seems logical. He was on his way there when he died and decided to come back later. So it seems he's gonna catch up with the tour that Swerb did earlier.
Now, while that would be the ultimate troll for all 3 medallions to be in Turtle Rock, it is not possible. 2 of the medallions can be in there, but you have to find the one to open up Turtle Rock first.
Yeah, Bombas is required for that, as we've seen, so that has to be in another place.
Now, in a glitched seed, that might very well be possible. I don't know how much they take into consideration for all the glitched stuff.
It's a good question, Viking. I don't know why Swerb skipped the Moldum cave, because it has 5 items, which is very quick to get from Link's house. So at this point, he might actually have forgotten it. He went to the mountains after the Kakariko village, so it might be possible actually that he forgot about it, since you usually do it right after Kakariko village. That is possible.
Yeah, fingers crossed he doesn't end up forgetting about it, because we've all played those seeds where we just forget that one spot and it has an item that you need. Swerve is definitely making quick work of Skull Woods. He has not found anything yet, but that doesn't mean he won't.
He is doing quite good, but his HP is also getting a bit low, so he has to be careful.
And Fox being rewarded with one of the single green rupees in the seed.
And it seems FoxZerro is going to check out the Spy Cave.
Well, with him having the cape and half magic, he's not going to have any problem getting through here.
That is a cave that Swerb cannot visit at this time, missing both the hammer and the cape. we see the mirror in the spy cave. Huge item for FoxZerro.
So now Fox officially needs 2 more items. He needs the flute and whatever medallion is required for Misery Mire. That is all he needs right now.
Yes, very close to go mode after already 35 minutes. That's amazing. So at this point, we know that Swerb has to visit the Mollem Cave in order to get further.
And it looks like while Fox is up here, and now that he's got the mirror, he is heading into Tower of Hera.
We'll see if he visits the tablet at the same time, the Ether tablet. That is an easy item to forget, so we'll see.
And he does opt to grab the bug catching net. It's always good to have that little bit of safety for fairies later on.
Yeah, especially since I have the powder, it's very easy to grab some extra fairies.
And he just got rewarded with some more money from the tablet.
And Swerb is getting that second item, which seems to be a piece of heart, so nothing too exciting, he decides to save and quit. Now he is visiting Link's house again, so we'll see if he's going to check the dam and Mollem Cave at this point.
He's heading down that way, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if this isn't Mollem Cave at this point. And he's going to be glad he checked it.
Now, honestly, I don't know if King's Tomb was checked. I know Swerb went into the... I believe he went into the Bong Cave, besides Sanctuary. I don't know if he did King's Tomb or not.
Yeah, he did. I can't remember what it contained though, but he did check it before the Bong Cave.
Well, I look at it this way, if neither of us know what it is, it was not important.
We'll see here if Swerb... Yeah, Swerb is going for the Ice Cave. He could have opted for fake flippers, which wouldn't be very good at this point, since we know that the flippers are in the Ice Cave.
And then my guess, after he gets the flippers, he's probably going to go and take a peek at the island in the lake. He may go right up to Zora, or he may go up and check the hobo and then come back to Zora.
Yeah, we'll see. The warp to Zora is near, but getting to the hobo at a later stage could be time cost, so... And we'll also see the floating, yeah, only 50 rupees.
Fox seems to have a love affair with his cape. He used it with Moldorm to avoid getting knocked off the ledges, and I honestly don't blame him.
No, that's a very wise decision. So far Fox has been using his item arsenal quite wise, although he did forget that he could get from the big chest with Bonk.
I think he tried, but he was too close to the chest, and he just kept grabbing it, and then the ball came around and he couldn't get enough space.
The red mail was in the Bonk cave west of Sanctuary. And the mushroom from the hobo. So that could be leading to a potential key item. Hobo confirmed drug dealer.
Well, I mean, he is hiding under a bridge, so it makes sense that he would have something.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like that's where he is going. He is heading right up to deliver that mushroom.
Yeah, and at the same time he can go to Sora's domain this way, so... And the bulb with the fairy in it.
I'm not defending the hobo's dark secret. I'm just saying it makes sense because he's hiding under a bridge. I mean, this type of people tend to hide under bridges. Come on now.
They do?
Alright, Swerb looks like he is heading up to Zoro right now, so he will be happy with this trip. And Fox looks like he is going to knock out Swamp Palace.
Well, that's a good choice. It does have 6 items to grab, so it could potentially lead him to some more key items like the flute or one of the medallions. He has everything he needs for it, so pretty good choice.
So at this point, at 41 minutes, the only thing these guys are actually looking for is the flute and whatever medallion is required for Misery Mire.
Yeah, no one has been to... of course, they can check it without the flute, of course.
So I know chat is secretly hoping for, I mean, I'm kind of hoping for it too, that the flute is going to be in Turtle Rock. The seed has already been way too nice to these guys. Need a little bit of a hiccup in there for them.
I wonder where Swerb is heading now. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, he is going to the Tower of Hera, and he has to go this route since he doesn't have the mirror, but he can get up there with the help of the hammer.
And hopefully he does check the Spike Cave, because he will be very happy if he does.
Maybe,
he may do Hera first and then do the Spike Cave.
Yeah, but it's also easy to forget the Spike Cave when you come out of the Tower of Hera and want to head for the next crystal, so we'll see if he remembers it.
Got a nice prediction in the chat. Trinex has Mire Medallion, Blind has Flute, and Cold Stare has the Ice Rod. That would make up some trolliness.
Fox is hitting the switch in the northern room, then goes the long way instead of just going south. Forgets that he has actually deactivated the blue switch to get there quicker. And doesn't remember this. Yeah, now he remembers actually and goes the quick way.
He's probably yelling at himself right now. I know I would be.
Yeah, let's not forget that the pressure you're under while playing a match is completely different from practicing, so it's very easy to forget a lot of stuff that you normally won't miss.
Yeah, it looks like Swerb was able to get that bonk back across from the big chest.
Yeah, Swerb is a very experienced player, and I think he knows about all the tricks in the book, except running between the hole and the blipper.
As soon as you said he was a very experienced player, he just ran right off the edge.
FoxZerro has to be careful. I think he has at least one fairy in the bottle, but...
I'm pretty sure he does. I remember him grabbing one a couple minutes ago, like with the net.
Yeah. And the big key in the vanilla location, that means you won't be able to forget about the big chest. Sometimes it can actually be after the big chest, and it's a very common mistake to forget to go back and check there.
Yeah, there's the fairy that Fox had. I don't know if he's got any more or not. I only remember seeing him grab one. I don't know if he already had one or not.
I only think Fox has one bottle at this point. Swerb has picked up the additional bottle with a fairy in it. But I don't think Fox has more than one bottle at this point. And Swerb is save and quit and not grabbing the spike cave. And he's not heading for the mountain, so that's a bit unfortunate for him. That could cost him a lot of time.
With the cape now, he could have easily been able to do it. The cape and the half magic. He probably completely forgot about it.
There is no reason not to check it at that point while you're there. You're not going there again while going to Turtle Rock, for instance, or Ganon's Tower, so that's the best way to check it, actually. Instead, he's going to the desert and check Agina's cave, so...
And while he's over here, he will probably knock out Desert Palace, so we'll be able to see what's up on the ledge, finally. And Agina just had some more money. You got paid for blowing up his wall, so it worked out.
And the shovel for the ledge item in the desert.
So that could very well lead to a fetch quest. You take their shovel and it could reward them with a medallion or the flute or any number of junk items.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the ocarina in the vanilla location anytime.
With so many things that get switched around, I've only seen a couple things being at least in their own vanilla dungeons, not necessarily in the big chest, but it definitely throws everybody off when you find something that actually belongs in that dungeon.
Yeah, it feels kind of weird. And Fox is fetching the next crystal.
I wonder where he's off to now. He just saved and quit, so...
And another bottle for Swerb, going for finding his third bottle at this point.
Looks like Fox is about to be rewarded with the red mail. Yes, as of right now, Fox only needs the flute and whatever the medallion is required for Meyer. So, because we haven't seen what medallion is required for Meyer yet.
And Fox are not heading for the Skullwoods, instead probably going to check the Bumper Cave or something. Or no, Skullwood it is. Taking a slightly longer route to get there.
And that's true too. We have not seen what the bumper cave holds for him. There could very well be something up there too. It looks like Fox is taking an interesting way through Skull Woods. I don't think I've actually seen somebody do that yet. They normally fall in from a different spot.
I'm not sure if he was going for the big chest and didn't realize he didn't have the big key yet.
And thankfully, both of them, when Swerb did it too when he came through Skull Woods, remembering they have the Cane of Samaria instead of trying to drag that statue up there. And the good thing about Fox having the mirror, his trip through Skull Woods will be much quicker than Swerve's was, because he won't have to backtrack, he can just hit his mirror.
Yeah, that mirror is a time saver both in the normal world and in the dungeons. And we'll see, at this point Swerb might have forgotten about the spy cave and that might cost him dearly.
Hopefully he remembers to go back for it because he will not be able to do Swamp Palace without the mirror.
Yeah, the only problem I see it's a long walk to check one item, and as long as he has other locations to check, like he has the peg cave and the blacksmith and stuff like that, he might aim to do them since they have several item locations clumped together.
It looks like we're about to see what is in the dig spot.
The ice rod, which at this point we don't know if it's required. It could be, but
I know chat is fingers crossed that Turtle Rock is required for that one medallion that they need for Misery Mire.
yeah, it wouldn't be too unreasonable since they pretty much were given everything in the beginning, so...
Because what was the Turtle Rock medallion? Do you remember?
It was Bombos.
So
and
the only
Fox
way...
is getting caught just right before jumping down to the boss room. Ouch.
I hate that hand in that room.
Yeah, and it's a pain to go back all these rooms. And thankfully they have half magic, otherwise it could be very tight on the magic resource, so... And Swerb is heading to check the pyramid items. So he has potential 3 items there, 1 on the pyramid and 2 from chests in the fairy room.
And no, to answer your question, no, nobody has checked the pyramid yet.
This is exactly what I mean with Swerb not going back for the spike cave. The spike cave is basically one item location for a very long walk, unless he has a flute. And this way he can check many item locations as one, instead of going for singular items. So he's probably going to check those first, even if he remembers at this point that he hasn't done the spike cave. I think it's very unlikely he's going there unless he's checked all the other locations first.
Fox is having one heck of a time with these wonderful little hands in Skull Woods. He got himself grabbed again. They always seem, whenever they grab me in Skull Woods, it's as I'm jumping down the hole. to fight the boss.
Yeah, that is one of the most common places to be grabbed. And this time he's not falling for that trick. Instead, waiting out the hand and slashes it. Getting some revenge on the hand.
One of those situations, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So he learned his lesson for the third trip through.
And bombos for Swerb, so now he actually have access to Turtle Rock.
But unless he completely forgot about the Spike Cave, I really doubt he will make any attempt to go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and since you don't have the mirror, Turtle Rock could be quite awkward, since you can't check the Mimic Cave at the same time when you don't have the mirror. So going to Turtle Rock and not be able to check out the Mimic Cave, that's a bit awkward. And Trinix has flute for sure, and chat is hoping for that Trinix fight, and why not? I can't blame them.
I can't blame them either. Like, this seed has been beyond generous to these guys. Gotta have something.
And Swerb is heading for the Palace of Darkness, and well, he has everything he needs for Palace of Darkness, but he doesn't have the mirror, and it looks like, oh, he lost Kiki on the way, getting hit and basically loses her, so... But it's going to take an extra while to finish the Palace of Darkness when you don't have the mirror. It's quite heavily used in that dungeon. Yeah, Master Sword Pedestal was a bomb upgrade.
Yeah, so sadly, we weren't getting another Master Sword spot. There's only been one so far.
Yeah, the mirror will be required for the Swamp Palace. I don't think Mr. Meyer requires the mirror because you're getting that through Dark World Warp.
Yeah, as far as I know, the only thing Meyer requires is the flute, because that's the only way you can get in there, because you'd flute to that spot, lift up the rock, and teleport into Dark World.
Swerb is finding the big key in the Palace of Darkness, but since he doesn't have the mirror, he might still opt to clear the dungeon and check all the item locations anyway.
To answer a quick question about another race, I know there was one scheduled to start at 7 that is on the other Speed Gaming channel. I believe they're still getting set up for that one, though. I know whenever I watch these things, I try to catch as many of them as possible, so I know some people that are going to be like multi-twitching this channel and the other channel just to watch all of them.
Yeah, the more Zelda, the better. And Fox is heading for Palace of Darkness as well, and having the mirror lets him save some time, but he doesn't know if he's in go mode or not. Yeah, he's not in the go mode since he lacks the flute, so he's going to have to check all the chests and item locations as well, but can do so much quicker with the help of the mirror.
I would say at this point it could still go either way. Things are leaning more toward Fox's side because he is only missing one item, unless Bombos is what is required for Misery Mire. We still don't know that yet because neither of them have the flute.
Yeah, this is still an open race at this point. Nothing but a shield and an arrow for Swerb in the dark room. Swerb, of course, hoping so badly for that mirror, because now he's going to have to check the big chest. And not being able to mirror out of the big chest is a big time loss, actually.
And he just took a death in the... Okay, he's got a fairy, though, so he's good to go. This is why you definitely want to have backup fairies, because even the best people at the game get hit one too many times.
Yeah, but that was his only fairy, and he has no way to refill on fairies since he didn't catch the net on the Spectable Rock. On his way, that could have been the mirror in the Spy Cave.
And now Swerb, without the mirror, is going to have to walk all the way back through.
Yeah,
if he
that
saves
is...
and quits, it'll take him back to the light world.
Yeah, this is a bit awkward, and Swerb is actually... Yeah, he's going to Death Warp instead. Probably a wise choice that I wouldn't think of, so... a good call there. It's basically a mirror, but taking some extra hits instead.
Looks like Fox might have gotten a little turned around a little bit. He hit the switch with an arrow and then jumped down and hit the switch again with the Samaria cane. Not quite sure what he was originally thinking there.
I just think Fox hasn't as much experience in the dungeons as Swerb might have, but I still think he's going to catch up some time with the help of the mirror.
But definitely could have fooled me with the lack of dungeon experience, because he's doing amazing.
Yeah, he is, and it's very exciting because it's still an open race, but at this point, FoxZerro, of course, with the mirror has a lead at this point. But he's not in go mode, and that means anything can happen, actually.
Yeah, exactly what Ampharos said. Big questions now are, where is the flute, and which medallion seals Misery Mire?
Swerb is feeling confident about the Helmasaur fight, had the option to grab a couple of additional hearts, but didn't do so, so I guess he's very familiar with this fight and feels like he can beat it anyhow.
It's a fairly simple fight. I believe it's 17 hammer hits to break off the mask, and...
Yes, it is, but it is a bit RNG dependent, since instead of going for the tail attack, he can opt to fire out some fireballs repeatedly, and that could be a longer fight. But he's not, and he's going down very quick. And a single rupee as a reward for that boss fight.
So now both of the single rupees have been found. One from Helmasaur, and one was in the Hookshot Cave.
Swerb got paid off indeed.
We got chat hoping for a three-way race, so if that's the case, Fox has to win this, and there will be a three-way tie. If Swerb wins, Swerb moves on.
Now, a three-way race, that would be very exciting. Fox has to be careful here. He has a fairy room very soon, but I'm not sure if he has any fairies in the balls at the moment. Swerb looks like he's going to check the bat cave.
Yeah, at this time, he's probably racking his brain trying to remember what he missed and figure out what he can do.
Yeah, at this point, Swerb is basically losing time every time he's checking his item location. He could have checked the blacksmith and the pig cave and the purple chest at the same time, but not having the mirror just punished him really hard, and now he has to go back to the dark world if he's gonna check the pig cave. And at this point, he can't do the blacksmith and or the purple chest.
And for all we know, the flute could be one of them.
Yes. We still haven't seen the flute, so it could be anywhere. I think Swerb is actually going to check the peg cave like I predicted. Going to have to go to the dark world manually again.
Fox is making his way down to the basement of Palace of Darkness. So he's almost through here as well, so that would get them tied again with crystals, but at this point it's still anybody's race.
Yeah, and Swerb not checking the peg cave, but instead checking the bumper cave, but decides not to grab that extra heart container, and he has the red mail and he wants to save some time, so...
Yeah, I don't blame him. I would probably grab it if I had like the green mail or something at this point in the game, but the red mail mirror shield, he is fine.
I think Swerb is feeling very confident about the execution in the game, so not too surprising there. He's going to check for some quick chests in the Thieves Town.
And Mirror was in the Spike Cave, and Swerb did not check the Spike Cave. So at this point, I can imagine Swerb is looking for both the flute and obviously the mirror. But the only thing Fox needs is the flute, and still no idea what Meyer requires. Chat is still hoping the flute is in Turtle Rock.
Let's see if Swerb decides to continue. He has only found one of the 4 items possible in Thieves Town, and he has found the big key, but it's more time demanding to find the other items, so... But it seems he's going to continue and might as well finish up the dungeon.
This Thieves Town's a very quick dungeon, and he's got the hammer to be able to check the big chest too.
Yeah, it is, but at this point, if it doesn't contain anything, it's a waste of time, since we know that the Master Sword pedestal isn't required, and he still has a couple of overworld locations he hasn't checked, so...
I got someone in chat saying Turtle Rock was Bombo, so Fox has access to Meyer. Not necessarily. Both of the medallions can be the same. I have seen that.
Yes, it's very possible. Another piece of heart for Swerb. Still 2 more item locations to go, and if he finds them in the chest in the prison and the big chest, then he doesn't have to do the boss fight.
As long as he's keeping track of the items he's picking up.
Bombos was found from the Quakefish. Oh, the catfish. He does actually give Quake in vanilla, so Quakefish is not that...
Yeah, I was about to say Quakefish, catfish, it's all the same thing.
Yeah. Swerb gained Compass, so that means in order to get all item locations in Thieves Town, he's going to have to do Blind, the boss.
Yep, and that's right where he is heading. He is going to get her.
We might actually have a situation where Swerb basically is forced to visit the Spike Cave very soon, because after this he's running out of options. He can't go to Mr. Meyer, he can't do the Swamp Palace, he's basically soon cornered into visit all over the world locations. And that's fortunate for him.
Unless he decides to go into Ice Palace.
And he does have access to Turtle Rock, so that's a potential way to go, I guess.
And if it is the case that he did legitimately forget about the Spike Cave, you can guarantee he will never forget. And he got the flute!
Ocarina! Oh my god, this race is on! Finding the Ocarina in the Thieves Town, that is a pendant dungeon, that is huge. And that might actually take some time before Fox decides to go there. So this race is on. Both players having different items that we know will be required, so wow, exciting news.
So if Swerb did completely forget about the Spike Cave, he might be thinking that the mirror is in Misery Mire, which would logically be possible.
And he has so many item locations now that opens up, so and he has quick travel as well with the float active so soon. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes.
So Fox has the mirror, Swerb has the flute. This is gonna come down to the wire. Out of all of the pendant dungeons, though, with Thieves Town being the quickest, if Fox does decide to go into one of the pendants, it will probably be that one first.
Yeah, that is true. For Swerb, the choice might not be obvious since he's missing the mirror and couldn't check the Mimic Cave, but for Fox, Turtle Rock seems perfectly fine, although Thieves Town is a fairly quick dungeon and checking the first item locations is very quick, so, and you often visit the town anyway, so yeah, I'm not really sure.
And Swerb is stuck again. Misery Mire requires Ether. Ether was in Swamp Palace,
which he can't access. So this is actually good news for Swerb because he's cornered into going to visit more locations, and it seems he's actually remembering the Spike Cave, could be, or he is heading for Turtle Rock, it seems. So wow,
anything could happen because I have no idea where he's going. He changed his mind.
Maybe he reminds about the Spy Cave. Yeah, it seems so. But I must say, at this point, I'm a bit surprised he was going to head for Turtle Rock, and he still have some overworld locations to check, Spy Cave being one of them, of course.
Yes, the Spike Cave did have the mirror. And that is where he's going right now.
I think he's going to be very relieved to find a mirror in here. And ooh, very close.
So all he's got to do now that he's about to grab the mirror, he'll probably head right to Swamp Palace. And he'll be able to get Ether from there, and the race is on.
Yeah, at this point, I would say Swerb has the lead actually, because FoxZerro finding that flute in Thieves Town is not an obvious choice. And Swerb, of course, heading directly to Swamp Palace at this point, not wasting any time to doing the Turtle Rock, of course.
It looks like Fox is opting to check the double-chested fairy, but we know that it just gave, I believe it was arrows and some money. That was it.
Yeah, and also 20 rupees, I believe it was, or a piece of heart on the pyramid. I don't recall.
So fingers crossed for him that he does decide to go into Thieves Town next. If he does, that will possibly put them both in Misery Mire at the same time.
FoxZerro actually not checking the pyramid item. That's a bit surprising. I don't know if he's going to or if he forgot about it. No, he's going to check it and find the extra 20 rupees.
Swerb is essentially in go mode right now because he will find ether in Swamp Palace, and Swamp Palace is ether is required for Misery Mire.
FoxZerro, I thought FoxZerro was going for the catfish. That would be actually bad for him because that enables the Turtle Rock. So right now, FoxZerro is fortunate enough to not have bombos, which means he cannot go into Turtle Rock right away. That is actually very fortunate for him right now.
Yes, so that definitely shrinks down his number of options, and it looks like he might be heading over toward Thieves Town.
And we know that Swerb very soon is going to be in go mode, I think.
Because like chat says, once he picks up that ether, he is dungeon rushing.
Yeah, so basically what this comes down to now is FoxZerro racing against the clock to go into Thieves Town and find that flute.
Got chat hoping and praying that he goes into Thieves Town. They want the tiebreaker. They want the three-way tiebreaker.
And understandably so. That would be awesome. And yeah, if FoxZerro is heading for Thieves Town, he could be done with it at the same time Swerb is done with Swamp Palace, actually. And that would be very interesting because then we know that both players are almost in go mode and with equally many crystals.
And that will make things very interesting because they will be entering Mire at the same time, pretty much.
But unfortunately for Fox, he's going to check some of the locations here, and I can't blame him. I definitely think it's better to check some of the overworld locations at this point than going into a pendant dungeon. Probably gonna check the Smith as well as the Peg Cave, the Powder Cave, and also the Purple Chest if he hasn't done so already.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to jump down for the Bat Cave, probably hit the warp, and then go and do the Peg Field. And then fingers crossed he makes his way over into the village and goes into Thieves Town.
And at this point, he can't find too much of interest. They already have the Mirror Shield and Red Mail, so what he could find is the Bear Sword that would help, or the Silver Arrows.
And we all know that those could literally be anywhere.
Yes, if you haven't found them late game, they're probably going to be in Ganon's Tower since that dungeon has so many items.
It looks like he was struggling there for a couple times to get that item dash. And he actually just gave up on it, and we're going to see him do the rest of them the long way.
And it seems he's going for adventure with the purple chest as well. So that's gonna lose him some time, since we know it won't contain the flute.
And everything he's doing, while it is perfectly logical, and this is what everybody else would be doing, we know that it's giving Swerb a chance to close the gap. He does not, though. Like, everything Fox is doing right now is perfectly logical, because he knows he's looking for the flute. So he's checking all the overworld locations before going into one of the pendant dungeons. And I don't blame him, that's something I would do, trying to find something.
Actually, I think it's the smart choice to do, even if we know that it's wrong in this very occasion, but Swerb has entered go mode. And I think he must know about it at this point.
I'm sure he does, because he did take a peek at what Meyer required when he was over there.
Yeah, so unless he has forgotten about it, he realizes he is in go mode. But he doesn't have the net yet, and doesn't have any fairies, so he has to be careful with his life total, and especially in Mr. Meyer, your health can be a problem.
And I'm not quite sure. Fox looks like he might be heading toward the town. Fingers crossed that is where he is going, because Thieves Town is a very quick dungeon. But we know he has to completely clear it.
Yes. And Dark Magician wonders if Swerb does Silverless, and he does. He was actually guiding me through Silverless Ganon when I was practicing for the tournament, so I know for a fact that he is familiar with Silverless Ganon.
And Fox is not going to Thieves Town.
I'm not sure where he's going, because he did check the bumper cave earlier, so might see if that item has changed since last time, but
I think it was Swerb that checked it, because Swerb was looking for the mirror for the longest time.
I think Fox checked it earlier as well, actually. I think he checked it before Swerb. Now he's going to check the ledge on the graveyard.
And Swerb is about to enter his last dungeon. So that will officially put him into the lead.
Yeah, at this point, FoxZerro is basically racing against the clock here, finding that flute. The good thing for FoxZerro is he is running out of location to check, and I'm not sure, maybe he's going to opt for the catfish at this point, since it is fairly close from here. I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, Swerb is just on clear mode going through Meyer. So this could very well about a 140, 145 seed, give or take.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. And he's just plowing through it and just want to find that big key and be done with it. And Fox is indeed going for catfish. And that could end up spelling disaster for him, because if he decides to go to Turtle Rock after finding Bombos, that could be a huge time sink for him.
And yes, to answer a question, if Fox loses, that will put him at 1 and 3. So yes, he will not be moving on. This is the last race of this group. If Fox is able to pull it out somehow, it will result in a 3-way tie for the second position in the group.
And now it's going to be interesting to see what Fox is heading.
I'm just crossing my fingers.
Oh no,
he's going
he is
to
going
Turtle
to
Rock.
Turtle Rock. And the thing is, I can't really blame him. All the decisions that he has been making during this game, it hasn't been any bad decisions at all. It's been perfectly logical, so I can't really blame him for that. You might say Swerb was a bit lucky going into Thieves' Town, being desperate for that mirror, but it paid off in the end, and sometimes you just have to gamble and sometimes you can get lucky, but I can't really criticize FoxZerro's decisions too much at this point.
I can't either. The only thing that I would do differently at this point is to pick one of the pendant dungeons that is the shortest, which in this case would be Thieves' Town, because most people don't normally pick Turtle Rock as their first choice.
That is true. Thieves' Town is actually fairly quick and has 4 item locations. Turtle Rock takes way longer to do, but it might also be a bit of a gamble. If FoxZerro feels like he's behind, that could be a gamble to see if he can find something that Swerb didn't find.
He might also be doing Turtle Rock because it is the green pendant.
Seems like Fox is actually hesitating a bit. I wonder what he's thinking about, or if it's just taking a break.
Not entirely sure what's going on.
I think maybe it was just taking a toilet break or something.
That's possible. I mean, sitting here for an hour and a half, if he's been, drinking water like I've been doing this whole time, sometimes it hits you.
And grabbing that spiral cave at this point, which is not only going to provide him with a master sword that he's not going to need, so... But I do give him props that he remembers that he hadn't checked the spiral cave before. That's an easy thing to forget.
Alright, we see Swerb finishing off Meyer. So he's going to be heading right toward Ganon's tower after this.
Oh, FoxZerro is so close to save and quit and maybe heading back to Thieves' Town, but it seems at this point he's determined to finish what he started.
Well, I will say at least Fox had much better luck this time than he did in one of his earlier races. I'm sure everybody's familiar with the one clip with him playing hopscotch with Armo's Knights.
An amazing clip, by the way. I watched it over 50 times already. I can't get enough. That is by far the best clip of the tournament so far for me.
And it looks like he is making the decision to go into Turtle Rock, which I can't completely fault him because this is the green pendant dungeon. So he might be thinking that Sahasrahla might have the flute.
Yeah, and Turtle Rock also contains 5 items, and he can check the Mimic Cave on the way, so... Yeah, it's as the chat pointed out, probably it's going to be better to clear the Thieves' Towns first, since it's a quick dungeon. But if he's taking a gamble here, I can't really blame him.
And Fox doing what I normally do to get out of that room. I just back the whole way up the hallway.
The extra safety.
I mean, he could have just walked right up because he does have the mirror shield, but it's
I
easier.
decided that eye is not going to have a glance at him whatsoever.
Guys, quick! How many chests for the big key in Ganon's tower for Swerb? And there's 2. I'm gonna say it's the Bob chest. I'm gonna go with number 14.
How many chests are there in Ganon's tower?
22, I believe. It looks like we will be seeing Bob because the torch just has a heart piece on it. And check confirming 21 chest and the bonk torch.
That's unfortunate. I have my checklist and it only contains 20 item locations plus the torch, so I'm obviously missing something.
There you go. Dark Magician. 23 is best guess. It's the big chest. If only that would be possible.
FoxZerro is running low on health, but picking up that extra fairy.
Oh, and Swerb getting that ever-important red boomerang.
No sport, Jeef. I do have the time room in my checklist actually, so it has to be something else I missed.
There we go. Big key is clearly in Moldorm's chest. I think everybody's been... Oh, and he's got the silver arrows.
That's almost too bad. I wanted to see a silverless Ganon fight.
I'm just hoping as Fox is going through Turtle Rock, he is keeping track of his item count so he knows whether or not he has to go in to fight Trinax. Unless he is actually in here just for the pendant.
At this point, I think he's going to clear the dungeon to get that pendant, which is an extra item, so... It's a bit unfortunate. I feel a little bit bad for Fox. He did some very solid decisions, and he had to enter a pendant dungeon, and in the end he chose the wrong one, so... But to be fair, even if he had picked the Thieves Town immediately as a pendant dungeon, he would still be lacking behind Swerb, so...
And Bob is not holding the big key today. And with his newly discovered silver arrows, he's making very quick work of the Armos fight.
And the big key in the vanilla room, but not the exact chest.
And it was chest number 17, if any of you wonderful people guessed that. I see a couple 17s in here. Just quick scroll through. And definitely having the mirror shield helps for these red mimics. I have no idea what their proper name actually is. I have a couple names for them, but I don't want Fiesel to hate me.
Is it inappropriate words?
Just a tad bit.
I thought so.
I'm sure everybody's got a few colorful words to describe a lot of the things in this game.
Swerb is going to save a bit. He has only 3 hearts, and I don't think he has the net, so he can't catch any more fairies, but he is going to have at least full heart, full magic going into the gauntlet, so...
And Fox kind of took the long way around in that maze room. It's okay though. I get all twisted and turned up in there too. Having the mirror shield definitely makes this room a lot easier for everybody.
Yeah, it is. I actually did a speedrun yesterday without the mirror shield in this room, and it is a bit tricky if you don't know the trick to get there, to dash through the chest.
I normally, when I do it, if I don't have the shield, I go up until I hit the little, you know, the little mini wall, and then I turn my cape or my cane of Berna on and loop around the corner.
And Swerb getting 2 of the 3 in the first dive, and the second one immediately after. The third one, I mean. It's looking good for him so far, but the health is getting a bit low, and we know that he doesn't have any fairies. And ouch, taking another hit there by falling down. And plowing through the bottles and realize he doesn't have any fairies.
Yeah, so he is definitely going to have to take it easy until he can get by Aga 2, or else he's going to have to do all this over again.
Yeah, and that is painful. He does know that the net was on Spectral Rock, but he decided he was so confident in his execution that he didn't need it. But he does have the cape and half magic, and he actually have, I think, 2 balls with green magic, so he can refill that quite a bit, so if needed.
And Fox taking a little bit of death to Trinex, but now the Trinex is in the next phase, it should have no problem getting through him. So after this, he'll probably take the green pendant and deliver it to Sahasrahla, and well, we're actually going to find out what he gives, but we do know that that is not what he needs to do to get the flute.
No, at this point, the best thing he can get is Barrier Sword.
And Swerb taking the time to get that anti-fairy, so he is back up to just shy of full health, so that will definitely help him now that he is coming close to the end.
Yeah, he's not even going to waste time checking those chests, so he's skipping 3, maybe 4 chests here, and does not want to gamble for the Barrier Sword. Or there he wants to gamble for a bottle with a B in.
And the run has officially been validated. He opened up the last chest.
Yeah, that is a good thing. And 5 rupees for all the effort going to Turtle Rock and finding the green pendant.
Oh look, chat with the puns today. Swerb will not be disqualified.
But Fox now has to make a decision where he's heading next. I don't know if Thieves Town is next on his list. It seems he's having something else in mind. Realizing he hasn't checked the hobo under the bridge for the mushroom yet.
Now he just has to go all the way around and find a little jump-off spot.
I'm not sure if he checked the island here as well, since he skipped the hobo and went directly for Zora's domain after finding the flippers in the ice cave. I don't think he checked the island in Lake Hylia.
I don't think so. I think it was just bombs or money, though, but I don't think Fox ever checked it. Every time I see Fox go to the sanctuary spawn point, I have my fingers crossed that he heads toward Thievestown. And he's not.
No, he's probably going to check where that mushroom leads to at first. And kind of a tricky fight here for Swerb, not having too much health, and probably is going to be putting that mantle into good. Oh no, he's already in third phase.
Yeah, he used the cape for a lot of the second phase, because he knows he's got a green potion.
Yeah, and also have the tempering sword makes Ganon take a double amount of hits, 12 instead of 6 with battle sword.
And doesn't get the torch glitch, but with silver arrows it shouldn't be much of a problem.
And there it is.
Finishing him off with no problem at all. And the official SRL time for Swerb is 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 6 seconds.
A very good time, especially, sure, it was an easy seed in the beginning, but especially since he did have some trouble finding that mirror. 1:42, a really good time, considering that.
Fox is making his way into Ice Palace. I'm not quite sure about the thinking here, simply because Thievestown is much quicker to clear out than Ice Palace.
Yeah, maybe he did the decision before he saw Swerb was finished with the run and want to take another gamble, but unfortunately we know this is not going to go well. At this point, I'm actually wondering if FoxZerro has forgotten about Thievestown, or think they might have done it, because it is fairly quick, and even if you decide to not do the full Thievestown, it still has some very, very easy item locations that you can pick in the first room.
Because he did check the pedestal early on. I know he checked the pedestal when he did Skull Woods and saw that it was just a bomb upgrade. And Swerb did say he will be joining us here in a few moments. He's gotta unwind here for a second. That's possible too, Elminster. It depends on how Fox has everything laid out on his screens as to whether or not he can actually see the SRL stuff.
That is true.
I was gonna say, I know me personally, trying going through a race or something, and you get to a certain point and you start to wonder, okay, where's the dot done? You start waiting for it once you hit about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm sure every player is checking the chat constantly, so he might not have seen that Swerb is finished, but probably he has.
And to answer your question, Swerb will be joining us shortly. I'm watching and waiting for him to pop into the waiting room so I can drag him in here with us.
And FoxZerro with half a heart has to be very careful here. I'm not sure if he has any fairies in the balls anymore. A death here is very costly since you have to start all over again, and it's quite a long dungeon.
Yeah, which is why I'm a little confused as to why he picked this one to go for. Unless, like you said, he forgot that he didn't... he may have thought that he already checked out part of Thieves Town.
Yeah, especially since Thieves Town has very accessible item locations in the beginning. That is a bit of weird. It seems Swerb is in the waiting room now. Hello, congratulations to the win.
Definitely huge congratulations.
Can you hear us?
Are you on push to talk by chance?
I am actually, thank you.
Oh, okay. Congratulations again to the win.
Thank you, I guess. Yeah, thanks.
And
Many
also
congratulations.
that also means that you have secured the second place in the group, right?
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. So how did you feel about the run overall?
To be honest, I'm not very happy with it.
Let me
really
guess
bad...
why. It's the Spike Cave.
What's that?
I said, let me guess why it was the Spike Cave.
That was part of it. Part of it was also just the beginning, like playing. I was playing pretty bad at the beginning. And then I was kind of worried about the hammer when I found it, because I was specifically... So, like, early on, I was like, once I found out where all the crystals were, I was kind of trying to group them together. Like, ideally, you would be able to do, like, Palace of Darkness and Eastern back-to-back. Same with Desert and Mire. And so I kind of wanted the hammer and potentially the mirror. And so that's why, like, early on I was thinking about going to Eastern, and I was like, well, wait, let's check some more overworld places. And I kind of forgot about the whole, like, south of Link South stuff.
Yeah, we
So
noticed, because usually you do that route of the Kakariko village, but now heading into that mountains instead, it's easy to forget that you didn't do that route that you normally do.
Yeah. And generally speaking, like, once you can go to Death Mountain, it's usually a good call. So that was a good idea. It was just the fact that I kind of put off going south because I forgot for a moment was not so great. And then, yeah, the mirror. Oh, man, the mirror. I was really worried once I went back there. Because I went back into Harrow, like, thinking there was one more item, obviously. And then I checked and saw I was still missing, like, the map or something. And I was like, oh, I don't need to be here. And, like, before I went back in there, I was fully intending on, like, going into the Spike Cave and checking that chest. But I saved and quit. And at that point, it was, like, such a long trip back that I was kind of just like, well, hopefully there was nothing important in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's a long walk for one item locations, especially since you don't have the flute. And at that point, there are so many item locations that you can bundle together and take in the overworld. So it's not easy to go back to that Spike Cave once you missed it.
Yeah, definitely. And, like, I was kind of like, well, I'll go check out, like, Thieves Town, like, some other places where I can get, like, a bigger number of items faster. And then when I'm, like, desperate enough to go to Turtle Rock, I'll check the Spike Cave before I go into Turtle Rock. And then I started heading towards Turtle Rock, and I was like, wait, I'm forgetting something.
Yeah,
So
because you were actually heading for Turtle Rock at the beginning. It looked very worrying.
Quick question to interrupt. How many bonks is Swerb gonna have since we're getting to those numbers? The second most important question of any of these runs. Since I just barely caught it before it showed up on our stream.
A lot of guesses on 33. I guess they saw the number.
33, that's a bit higher than I'd like, but I'll take it.
But otherwise, it's from the start, it seemed like a very good seed. They were given a lot of good items in the beginning, the hookshot, the gloves, and it was just just on a roll in the beginning with items.
Yeah, it was a really nice seed, and obviously I'm happy I won. I'm moving on to brackets, but yeah, it's just hard for me not to reflect on all those like small mistakes I made. They add up. It easily could have been like 10 minutes faster had I done things better, even like not just in retrospect, just like with my knowledge at the time. So I got to try to be better about that stuff moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, because Fox did have the item lead for quite some while. First getting those that hammer and the flippers, which also led to the book, and after that he found the mirror fairly quickly, and that is also very punishing when you don't have the mirror going into Palace of Darkness and stuff like that, and just traveling around in general. It takes a lot of extra time when you don't have it.
Yeah, and like I do a lot of my like when I'm trying to route, I keep in mind of like being able to mirror and check multiple things, and so when you don't have it, it can be very easy to like do stuff unoptimally, I guess.
Well, Fox is on his way right now to doing an all dungeons run. He went into Turtle Rock first looking for the flute, finished off Turtle Rock, turned in the green pendant, finished through Ice Palace, and he is just now entering Thieves Town, and he is probably going to smack himself when Blind hands over the flute.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I don't know. I think, yeah, given the dungeon situation that we had, I think Thieves Town, even though Turtle Rock did have the green pendant, I think Thieves Town is always just one of the best to do first. It's so fast.
Yeah, absolutely, and even if you don't complete the whole dungeon, it's such an easy location to check because it has a lot of quick chests in the beginning. So while you're in the outcast village, it's very easy to check at least some part of it.
Yep, very true.
A bit unfortunate for Fox, actually. He has been making some solid decisions until going into Turtle Rock, of course, for the Pendant Dungeon. But otherwise, he was looking very good and did some good routing overall, I think.
Yeah, everything looked really good. It was just what really hurt was making the Turtle Rock decision before the Thieves Town decision.
Yeah, Turtle Rock's not a terrible dungeon, because, like, there are 5 items plus Mimic Cave if you have Mirror 6, and actually that green pendant makes it 7.
Yeah,
so there are
exactly.
a lot of items, but it does take quite a bit longer to clear than Thieves Town does.
Exactly, and going to the Mimic Cave and then go back to Sahasla, it takes a lot of time to get those items. But I guess in your case, Turtle Rock was never an option before Thieves Town, since you also lack the mirror, you can check the Mimic Cave, which is kind of awkward going in there.
Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't forget the Spike Cave a second time. That could have been really bad.
Yeah. If you had continued on the route to Turtle Rock, that could be really bad, actually.
It really just boiled down to the decision for you to enter Thieves Town at the end. And then obviously remembering the Spike Cave, because you were able to get the flute as Fox was still looking for it, because he had everything else he needed. And then you got the flute.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was actually really worried. Like, I don't know too much about Fox's like experience with the game other than the 2 races he's done for this tournament. So I obviously didn't want to underestimate anybody. And I honestly felt like I could have been behind like the majority of that game on that race. So and like I said, that could have been a very fast seed if you did things just right, made better decisions. So I'm just kind of glad that, I mean, I feel bad from now getting stuck on a single item like that because I know how that goes, but for the sake of me winning, I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, but it's also nice to learn from your mistakes during the group play, so you don't have to make, hopefully you don't have to make those mistakes later in the tournament.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
And Fox is entering the blind fight now, so he will be so happy and probably smack himself when he sees Blind drop the flute.
Yeah, it's not fun to have done both the Turtle Rock and Ice Palace in vain, so...
Not at all. Anyway, I haven't eaten all day, so I'm probably gonna go eat, unless you got any other questions for me.
Nope, you're good to go. Thanks for popping in. Congratulations on the win, and good luck in the next round.
Of course, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alright, later.
So Fox now entering Go mode at least, so it's probably not gonna be too long before we see him be done with the run.
And I know the next race on here isn't until 10, so... And we haven't been told that we need to leave, so we're going to be able to stick with Fox through the rest of this.
Oh, he does actually miss Mr. Meyer, of course, I forgot about that.
Yes, but now that he has the magical flying duck, he can dungeon rush Meyer.
The magical flying duck, and that is good to have indeed.
Yep, and that is right where he is going, and he's got all the medallions, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that anyway. And we're seeing all the swag ducks in the chat now.
Swerb did not check all the chests. He didn't even check 3 of the chests in the end, but he did validate the run with checking that Moldom chest at least.
So Fox might still be looking for either the silver arrows or the butter sword, because he is still hunting for items.
You can see the corner maze item here. Swerb didn't actually check that because he didn't have the mirror at this point, so... The butter sword could be in here, technically.
That's the only thing I could think that he's doing right now. He's just checking for silver arrows or the butter sword, but we know silvers were in Ganon's tower. And as long as he opens everything along the way, he's going to get them. So even with him clearing out all of the other dungeons, I'm going to estimate this is going to be about a 2 hour and 20 minutes for him to finish.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, and not too bad of time considering he did run into some problems and basically I've checked almost every location in the game and done all of the dungeons, so...
Yeah, so guys, make sure you go and give Fox and Swerb both a follow for giving y'all a great race. It was definitely a nail-biter for quite a while.
Yeah, FoxZerro basically had the lead for the majority of the time, I would say. In the beginning, having that hammer and flippers and also getting the book. But then Swerb catch up, but FoxZerro once again took the lead with finding that mirror in the spy cave, which Swerb totally forgot about. And then it was... it looked really good for FoxZerro, but Swerb was basically forced into the pendant dungeon Thieves Town, and finding the flute there, just throwing back into the race again. So very exciting race overall, and very hard to determine the winner for a very long time.
To Totem, you are welcome for the broadcast, and heading over, if you guys do want to head over, that is fine, because there is another race going on the Speed Gaming channel. That one is VTorp and I have no idea how to pronounce that person's name. Reiku Rider? I probably completely butchered that, and I apologize.
Yeah, that was tricky. Raikou Rider, I guess.
And then later on tonight at 10, there is another race on this channel, and that one is Yunos and Miria-chan.
Is that for Group A?
I'm not sure, but I can check.
I think it is Group A, if I recall correctly, and that is a very interesting game because that could lead to a three-way race again. Oh, the Battle Sword for FoxZerro in the Misery Mire, so he's good to go now.
Yes, the Yunos and Miria-chan race later on tonight is Group A, and it will determine whether Yunos moves on or Miria-chan puts it into a three-way tie.
That is a very close call for that group. And they, of course, being the winner of the group and I think won all of his matches. So there could be a 2-2 potential situation, which would be very exciting, especially since I think Group A has three fairly good players. That could be a very even race.
Yeah, I know. I'll definitely be watching that one. I mean, I've been watching as many races as I can, but I'll definitely be watching that one. I won't be commentating on it. You're gonna have, I believe it is Adirondack Rick and Mythical are gonna be doing that one later on tonight. Swerb's official SRL time was 1 hour 42 minutes and 6 seconds.
Not too bad of time, considering he did run into some problems with the mirror, so...
Yeah, the mirror, and the only real trolley item was the flute being in a pendant dungeon. And Fox picking up the big key, so he should be on his way to the boss now.
Yeah, be careful with that help, but he does have the net, so this is a good opportunity for him to grab some extra fairies.
It looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
You can actually grab 4 fairies in this room. It's a very good opportunity. Not sure where he's heading, if he's going to check the big chest. At this point, he basically has everything except silver arrows.
And that might be what he's looking for. I'm not entirely sure if he is familiar with how to do Silverless Ganon. I mean, we know that he'll grab the arrows on his way up the tower, but he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, and if he's not familiar with silver arrows, he basically has checked all the chests in all dungeons and almost all of the overworld locations. So it's not a bad thing to try to grab those last couple of chests which could contain the silver arrows.
Yes, Butter Sword was in Mire because he just picked it up just like a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago.
It was in the top chest in the big maze room.
Everybody's saying that Fox is just heading for 100%.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, that's true. He didn't do Aghanim 1, and he also skipped the Cane of Birna, which was in the mini race game in Kakariko Village.
And he forgot to hit the switch before going through. Oh well. He is still doing a great job getting through these dungeons for not being 100% familiar with them. I got chat hoping that he goes to get the bomb upgrade from the Master Sword pedestal.
Yeah, that would be something.
Hey, you never know. I'm sure he's already seen the dot done. in the chat, so he might just give us a show.
Maybe, but going for over 2 hours, I think he also wants this to be done with.
Yeah, he might also want a break too.
But we did actually see him take a break while going into Death Mountain, so maybe he has all the energy he needs to do the full 100%.
And he just threw the cape on, and he is just hacking and slashing. Not even going with the arrows, he is just using his sword. New Life saying he can't afford to waste arrows. He only has 64 of them.
Yep, yeah, be careful with those arrows.
I think he might be able to spare a few, and it does look like, I hate to be the burden of bad news, but he is not going to get the bomb upgrade from the Master Sword pedestal. So, chat, do you guys think he is going to go the normal, check the 2 chests on the right, and then go to the left, or is he going to switch it up a little bit?
Well, you can get to Armor's chests by going to the right, and if he does that, he is going to miss the silver arrows.
That is true, so fingers crossed he actually does not go that way.
This is actually a bit, could be a bit of an awkward situation for Fox. If he doesn't know how to do silverless Ganon, he might be very desperate for the silver arrows and hoping that it's basically in Ganon's tower, because if it's not, he might still go check for some of the overworld locations he's missed.
Yeah, if he doesn't find them, though, hopefully he knows that he can still go into the Ganon fight, and before the, what is it, the 4th phase, he will tell you where the arrows are at.
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully, we did see him being very careful with the chests in Mr. Meyer, even checking big chest after being in go mode, so he's probably going to check all the chests he can find at this point. Oh, it seems he's going to the right side. This could be potentially bad for him.
And he used the powder on both of the bunny beam and the anti-fairy in the tile room, so 2 less things to have to avoid. Very smart idea.
I'm actually surprised he didn't catch additional fairy, but I'm not sure if he has more than 1 bottle actually. I know that Swerb picked up several of them, but not sure if Fox got more than 1 bottle actually.
Yeah, I think Swerb ended up having all 4 of them by the time he finished.
Yeah, that's true. The last bottle was in the Moldorm chest.
This is my least favorite room. It's got to be. Because I've had that door slam in my face before. It looks like he made it through with no problems. That's a good thing.
Yeah, you don't have too much time after you lighting in the first torch, so Have to be fairly fast. I wonder if he's going to continue here or mirroring out.
And the beetle taking a victim, pushing him right into
he's
the hole, and he is
mirroring out.
mirroring out, so he will.
That is good for him. Because now he will find the silver arrows before finding the big key.
And we will not be seeing Bob on Fox's side. And he just picked up the heart piece, which ended up being the 4th heart piece, so he got a free refill.
But we still will see Bob still, right?
Well, Bob just won't be Bob, he'll be normal.
Why is that? Enlighten me.
Whenever you don't pick up, you don't bonk the torch in the first room, Bob gets glitched out. If you do bonk the torch, yep, he's just a regular anti-fairy if you get that item up top.
Okay, I learned something new.
So we got Bob on Swerb's side, but Fox opted to take the heart piece.
Putting that mantle into use once again.
I definitely don't blame him. It's like, I enjoy using it when I have it, because it helps out a lot to avoid unnecessary damage.
Oh, absolutely. I put it to use very much, and not to mention fairies. I try to get fairies all the time, just to be extra safe.
He got beat up a little bit by the spike room. He might not know if you push the blocks up on yourself, you get invincibility frames.
Finding silver arrows.
I'm sure he's happy to see those.
Yeah, I think he's a bit relieved to see those. I think he earned them after clearing all the dungeons in the game.
He is still clearing because he does not have the big key just yet. So he will be getting that soon. And that will pretty much be all of the chests in Ganon's Tower. Well, he cleared out the right side. And by the time he finds the key, because wasn't the key in the last chest of the left side?
Yeah, depending on which order he opens them. It was in the top left chest.
And I don't know if he's going to continue through to open up the big chest just for the heck of it or not. It looks like we're going to see the floor.
That's interesting. I don't know if he knows about the dash trick. I've seen this once before actually, but at that run they didn't have the boots, so it was a bootless run, so he basically had to light up the way.
He may have not known about the bonk, or he may have thought because of the pot he picked up, he may not have been able to do it, because I only ever see people bonk off the top one, and he picked up the top one.
Yeah, could be either. I think Fox has shown that he knows the dungeons well, but he doesn't know every trick in the book for the specific rooms. But that is just something that comes with experience and watching on even more speedruns on stream. So eventually I think he will learn them.
And he's got the big key, and it looks like he's just gonna clear for the heck of it. Because he still picked up that extra chest when he didn't need to.
Yeah, it's right there, so... I mean, at this point, I think he realizes the only thing he can actually pick up at this point is a ball that could contain a fairy or maybe a red or blue potion.
Fiesel saying wanted Berna, but the cane of Berna was at the race minigame.
Yeah, so he's not going to find it there, and he knows it as well.
I think he probably figured not to grab it since he already had the cape anyway. So yeah, he could just be opening pots or opening chests just for the heck of it.
Going straight into Gauntlet. I think he has one fairy in one of the bottles he has. Or the only bottle he has.
I know he caught one at the end of Meyer. I don't know if he's got any more or not.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. I think he has one fairy at this point then.
And then you do have that hallway with the bunny beam, so he might powder that on his way through.
Must say, so far Fox is looking very good in Ganastor overall, and especially the Gauntlet. Some fine execution here, actually.
Yeah, even with this ice floor, I hate these rooms with the ice floors.
Man, he actually opts to skip that extra fairy there.
He might be feeling pretty confident now that he's got the silver arrows, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Silver arrows and the red mail, so Ganon's not gonna hit quite as hard.
Yeah, he is well prepared for it. Having the red mail and the bear sword and silver arrow, so it's looking good.
Looks like he's opting to do this room the hard way. I know I struggle to get the Samaria shot lined up to get more than one of them, but hey, sometimes the old-fashioned way works the best.
This man has cleared all the dungeons in the game. He wants the extra challenge. And now he's got an extra additional challenge, but managed to clear it.
Not having any problems with the torch room, which is good. And he's opting not to refill his magic before going up, which shouldn't be a problem because he does have half magic.
Yeah, and there will be one full magic in about 2 rooms.
That is true. I forgot about that one.
And skipping both chests, knowing that they can't possibly contain anything of value.
So it's not going to be 100% Ganon clear, sadly.
Yeah, that's we did have potential for that. That's too bad.
And he opted not to refill his magic.
And didn't switch to hookshot before Moldorm was killed. It doesn't matter too much. We'll see if he opens this last chest. And he does.
He does. I think everybody in the community knows about the last chest validation meme.
Yeah, they want the round validated. So why skip it?
getting beat up a little bit by all these little Helmosaurs.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually that he didn't use the cape. The cape is excellent for this room. You can just dash through the whole part of it, and we have seen Fox is very good at using the item arsenal that he has at hand. So, but he might want to save some magic for the Ganon fight, perhaps.
Got a double hit on the first round of Aga 2.
He's doing good so far. And the quick Ganon fight, very good.
Very nice fight. So fingers crossed Ganon goes just as well.
But he is a bit low on health, and that could actually be a problem. We'll see if he either heads for some potions or just goes south and dash into that tree to get an extra fairy. No, he's doing the hardcore way, just going straight into Ganon with 2.5 hearts.
Hey, sometimes you just have to dive in head first.
Yeah, the guts of FoxZerro, I like it.
He knows he's got a fairy, and I know he's got at least one, so he can handle a death, but he really has to watch his magic though.
Yeah, he needs the magic, and he doesn't have a refill for magic, so he has to be very careful at this point.
He's down to half a heart, so that's not a problem because he does have fairies. At least a fairy.
And he does have a green potion. Okay, nice.
Okay, he's good to go then. He's got this. I did not realize he had a green potion.
No, I didn't either. Oh, don't torch glitch with the fire rod, realizing he has magic to spare.
And taking the death, but that is okay because he has nice little safety fairy. Got the double hit on Ganon, so he's only got to hit him 2 more times right now.
There it is, nice. Finishing up the run on an official time of 2:22:56.
Definitely a really good time considering he did an all dungeons run. And Fox will be joining us here in a second. I asked him if he wanted to pop in, he said certainly. So I don't end up forgetting by the time Fox's credits get to that point. How many bonks do you guys think he had? Simple question. We always do it. Fiesel saying 0. Don't think it's quite that low. You're being a little optimistic there.
Well, considering Swerb has 33 and he skipped some of the dungeons.
I'm gonna say 40.
I'm gonna say 43.
So we're just waiting now for Fox to pop into the waiting room so we can get him in here. And I see he's in there now, getting ready to pull him in. Hello, Fox.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling really good.
How about that flute location?
Terrible. It's always the last place you look.
Yeah, for you that was certainly the case.
Uh,
I have a question. What made you decide to do Turtle Rock and then Ice Palace before Thieves Town?
Turtle Rock was because it had the green pendant, hoping that there's a lot of chests in there and I get something from Sassarlasa. And then I went to Ice Palace because I knew that Thieves Town was faster. So I'm like, I'll take the harder ones first because there's more chests.
Yeah, that could be a gamble that could have paid off, but unfortunately in this case it didn't. But seeing your whole game, I must say we were both impressed by the logical choices that you made. It seems like you checked the perfect logical locations, and we can't really blame you for that. So it was a solid run, but in the end it was an all dungeons clear.
Honestly, the only thing that I regret about this game is peeing into a bottle and then not winning.
So that was what you were doing while pausing in the Death Mountains.
Yes.
I give you 10 out of 10 for effort, man.
Thank you very much.
We figured you were taking some kind of a break when you just stopped before the bridge.
Yeah. And that's the type of break I took.
That should be an award for you, man.
Just so you're aware, Chad is yelling at you right now for just a tad bit too much information.
You know what? That's what I gotta live on. I have to live on too much information. I have to live by that Armos fight where I beat it with dash boots, and I have to live on the fact that I urinated into a container because I could not drag myself away to go to a restroom. That's my contribution to this tournament.
But what a contribution, Fox, I must say. I have watched that clip over 50 times. I can't stop watching it. It's so great, man. So exciting every time.
So Fiesel's got some puns now. I guess he got a race PB.
Yes.
That is a good one.
Oh.
But how did you feel during the race? Did you think you were ahead at some point, or do you thought you were behind, or how did you feel about your opponent?
I felt really good when I was like halfway done with all the crystals, sub an hour. Like that felt really good. And then I'm just like, but as I move forward, I know that I need to find that flute. And as time went by, I'm like, I have to have missed it. It has to be in a place I'm not thinking of. And that ended up being the case. So
yeah, but actually you were very well ahead. At the beginning you were ahead because Swerb didn't actually check the Moldam game. So he didn't have the hammer, he didn't have the flippers, he didn't have the book. And then he totally missed the mirror location in Spy Cave after going out of Tower of Hera. So you were way ahead because you had the mirror.
see, like now knowing that, like it hurts just a little bit more the way that it turned out. But you know, that's the way the randomizer goes. Sometimes you think to go to a dungeon that has a pendant, hoping that there'll be the item you need there, and sometimes you're like, well, I'm going to try to move towards my final mission objective, which is to get those crystals and save Zelda.
Yeah, I mean that. You can also say that in one way Swerb was a bit lucky to find the ocarina at blind because he was desperate for the mirror. So and he was actually heading for Turtle Rock when he realized he had missed the Spy Cave. So that could have been a disaster for him, but
yeah, I mean, and then that's just how it goes.
Yeah, like you said, that's how the randomizers go. Like, you guys were getting everything so early, and I'm just sitting here thinking there's going to be one item, just one item, and it turned out to be the flute that was in a pendant dungeon.
Exactly, and that's the way. I mean, like my last game, I got through the entire thing and didn't have the hook shot, so I got stuck at the Moldorm room in Tower of Ganon. So like, it happens. Like you feel like I'm on a good pace. I have these things that I need, and then I'm stuck because this one item is stopping my progress.
I have to say thank you for a very entertaining run, and congrats on still. I think 2:22 is a very good time considering you had all dungeons cleared. So congrats to that.
Well, I appreciate that, and thanks to you guys for doing the commentary. It really makes this feel more fun, and I know that people have really enjoyed watching it. So thank you for being there.
You're
Thanks.
very welcome. Then to add on to what Mysticum said about a good raise, thank you for a good tournament. Because your Armos fight from a couple races ago is, my opinion, the best clip of the entire tournament so far.
Well, I appreciate that, and I gotta tell you, in the moment, I was just so nervous about dying, but like now that I watched it back, I still can't believe that I pulled it off, and I'm the one who pulled it off, and it scares me watching it.
Were you talking about highlight of the tournament? It's a highlight of the fucking year.
Mysticum, language!
Oh, sorry.
Well, I appreciate it, Mysticum, even breaking the PG-13 for it, but you get one F in a PG-13, so I think we can allow it.
I don't think Fiesel will be too mad with one solo F-bomb being dropped.
Yeah, sorry about that. But that clip is just legendary.
Well, yeah. Well, it's nice to know that I contributed in some way to the tournament and that overall, and I do appreciate the response that it has gotten. So thank you for that, Mr. Sim.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll be sticking around. I mean, I know this is the end of the tournament for you, but you've done a great job so far. So hopefully you'll be sticking around with the community and hopping into races and everything. I know I will be.
Oh, definitely. I mean, now that I've done this, I feel like I am a part of the community. This was sort of a baptism by fire. And I know that like a new version just dropped like a couple of days ago. So I'm excited to see how the logic has changed in the new version of the randomizer now that I'm not stuck in this one for the tournament.
Yeah, dude, I feel like racing you at any point. So just grab me and we race. And I also must say I'm impressed by looking at it. It really seems you know more about the dungeons. You know more about. It seems you know the layout of the dungeons perfectly well now. And you can also tell in the Ganon's Tower you did a really good execution there actually. So very impressed by that progression you made.
Well, I would definitely race you at any time, Mr. Sum. I'm going to give myself a breather, calibrate back to not being in this tournament mindset, but I'd love to take you up on that. And I do appreciate you saying that. There was a moment in this game where I got the mushroom, and like the way that I got to the witch's house, I surprised myself because I'm like, wow, I really know this map.
Yeah, do you mean the flippers when you jumped into the river?
No, it was, using the flippers. It was, I got the mushroom and... No, bringing it to the witch, like, oh, I'll go to the sanctuary, and the way that I did it, like, I don't think I've ever walked that way across the map before. That was all instinct, just telling me where to go.
Yeah, I've noticed it becomes second nature after a while. You start playing these, and you're like, you don't even think about it. You just go.
Exactly.
That's the thing about Randomizer. It makes you think on your feet and doing stuff you've never done before. It's really amazing.
That's exactly it. This Randomizer, it has reinvigorated my love of this game. That, like, I remember getting it when I was 9 years old and playing it all summer, and I feel like I'm 9 again every time I do a new seed because it's all new, even though I've played it so many times.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel the exact same way. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Fox, thanks for popping in. Thank you for great runs this tournament. I think that's going to wrap it up for us. The next race, I'm not sure if the one is still going on the Speed Gaming channel or not, but I know the next race on this channel is at 10 o'clock tonight, and it is another one that will determine who moves on in that group. If Yunos wins, Yunos moves on. If Myriad-chan wins, it leads to a 3-way tie for second place. So that will be another one to make sure you come back and watch.
That is a huge game and a very important outcome, so be sure to stick around for that game.
Alright, thank you again, Fox. You guys in the chat, make sure you go follow these guys. They've been doing a great job. I am Genty86.
And I'm Mysticum.
And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.